stream 3 minutes ago. Live stream offline. Holy fucking Luya. Okay, we'll be back. Hello, hello, it's me. Just checking in, doing a little sound check here. Things are a little crazy. I seem to be having sound on my phone that I need, although that does not need to live there. Let's move that out of the way where no one can see it, because that's lame. Alright, can you hear me? That's what you can see. Okay. And there should be a chat thing, right? In theory. I appear to be well lit, if you know what I mean. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. Where's my chat? Oh! Mariah's here already. Hey, Mariah, how are you? Good to see you. I got your email, by the... I'm looking at the wrong place. I got your email, by the way. I just haven't responded to it yet, so response is coming, just so you know. Everything will be good. How's the framing? God, I'm not a fan of the framing, but I have to be able to gesture, you know what I'm saying? If at any point you can't hear me, would somebody let me know in the chat box, please? That would be great. Let me see if I can... It's just a little... Sup? Oh, Scally's here, Steve Scally. So I saw that there. Sorry, I will be looking at you as the show progresses. This is where my... Here we go. There we go. Wow, it's actually working. Oh my god. We're 10 minutes early and shit's working. That's phenomenal. So if you're new to the show, you're not. But if you are, or if you're watching at home, remind me, everybody, to... I need to tell everybody to subscribe. That's super important. And also, if they are watching at home, it is entirely possible to log in, create a channel, and then join the chat. That's going to be, you know, that's what the show's all about. So we'll do that. So Steve, we need. I was going to send you a message. We need to, like, do you have like lunch breaks or something? Would that be a good time to do a call or hang out or something like that? There's like so much stuff happened the last couple weeks. We need to hang out and talk about some of that stuff. So let me know if like lunch is good, or an after work thing, just a couple hours, like in the evening, or maybe after the kids go to bed. I don't know, something like that. We need to work all that kind of stuff out. And there's Joy. Okay, so I can't. So here's the thing. So I can see how many people are watching, which is good, but I can't see who they are. I don't think, unless you actually say something. So like Richard, for example. Hello, Richard. Let's see. After work and weekends is best. You got it, my friend. We will make that happen. Manage my participants. What happens if I hit participants? Oh, I can't see participants, but I have to choose. I can either see participants or I can see the chat, and the chat is much more important. So that's good. And Mary's here. Hello, Mary. Good to see you guys. I have to stop looking at the chat thing and address the fucking camera. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but you know what? I feel so much lighter and happier because we're not on that other platform, which is great. This is good. How's the sound? I know you can hear me, which is good, but how does it sound good? Can you tell? Are the speakers too crappy? I don't know. Ultimately, what I'd love to do, and I meant to do this for the past, year, was rip the audio off of the Facebook Live and put it onto a podcast later. I'd still like to do that. I got the fancy mic. It should sound good, but I'm not really eating the mic like I'm supposed to, so I don't know if that's actually going to work. I don't know. It's just a theory. We have to diversify. We've got to diversify the show, man. You know what I'm saying? In any case, I'm just glad you guys are here. I'm so glad you're here. Because we've got Zero, and we've got stuff to talk about, and that'll be good. And I've got a cool, maybe it's not cool, but I've got a thing to start us off today that I never thought we would talk about. But we're going to talk about it, so we'll see. I don't know. Everybody, so I've got 7. Okay. And what time is it? Oh, it's 7:53. We're like totally early. Shit. I'm just going to hang out back here. This isn't even the cold open. This is just the hanging out open part. And I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad you guys are here. Can I edit this in post? I don't know. There's probably a way to do that, right? There's so much I don't understand. I'm so just scraping the surface of this. But you're getting a glimpse of where hopefully this year is going to be. I see, we're going to be talking about resolutions, right? And here I am saying, I don't believe in resolutions, and yet I have this whole game plan mapped out for the year, right? Of really hitting video hard, man, particularly YouTube. I've been taking this class for, oh God, I don't even know how long now, a very long time, and I've learned a ton. I think I have learned a ton about YouTube. Excuse me, but I haven't put it into practice yet. So here we are. I'll have to see how that goes. Your interest should be, I'm about to begin, I begin, we have begun. Oh, Mariah, if you guys have not met Mariah yet, she is, I think it's safe to say, I don't believe there is a bigger Zero fan on planet Earth than Mariah, which I find delightful. You should see the book. I might have even, I think several months ago I posted some photos of her copy of Zero, which is lovely. Like, that's the thing. As an author, because most authors are readers, and so when I encounter one of my books that's just been fucking read to pieces, like literally this shit's just falling apart, it's like, yeah, because I've got books like that. I don't have any, I can't reach any right now, but I've got books from like grade school and stuff that are scotch taped together and stuff. I also have newer versions, but those are like the newer versions, like my emergency backup copy. I want to read the old scotch tape version, you know? So seeing something like that, Mariah, just always, when I think about your copy of Zero, it just makes me so happy and so proud of the book that it spoke to somebody, the way that it spoke to you. So anyway, so I think there's like you, and then like I'm the second biggest fan of Zero. So I'm glad you're here tonight. I'll be so curious to see, to hear and read some of your impressions and thoughts about the book again, because I love it. I'm just gonna say, yeah, the last quote in the book, yeah, Zero, but it's not my favorite. That's okay, Mike. It's all right. And Mary, if I totally screw up and call you Tam, maybe it's not a screw up because that's your name, so maybe it's okay. I'm not sure. I'll try to remember that you were Mary. Unless you don't want to. Are we not supposed to remember that you're Mary? I don't know. I hope it's okay. Wait, shows how long it's been since you've read it. What? Oh, the quote. I see what you're saying, Joy. Yeah. It's been a while. We were actually just talking about that earlier. My lovely wife was accompanying me to shoot like some, I guess, commercials, for lack of a better term, but very short, like 40 to 60 second videos to post on Amazon. And I had like 9 of them to do. We got like 3.5 done because I can't memorize my lines. And then like as soon as I started shooting the first one, which was for Hell World, yeah, it was for Hell World. I was like, I couldn't remember. There was like details about the script that I could not even remember. So like we had to stop and I had to flip through the book to see if I was right or just what. So anyway, yeah, wherever. I'm good. I think I'm good. Thank you. I'm just talking to my producer. Good at being called Tam. All right, so we might call you Tam then. Your book titles are going the correct way. Oh, Richard, what do you mean by that? That sounds like you mean something. Are going the correct way, meaning I'm adding words? I'm actually starting to do more than one word per title. Like, I don't know. By the way, pardon me, I might have to do this a couple times during the show, but if you are watching at home and you are not signed into chat, it's very simple. If you have a Gmail account, just sign into YouTube and then click, probably from what I gather, click the little circular icon in the top right and just click Create Channel. After that, you can always join a chat or leave a comment on any YouTube channel, any YouTube video you ever watch. Doesn't have to just be this one. And you never have to post anything at all. It's not like by creating a channel you are now, bound to posting videos. That's not how it works. That's just to join the chats or to leave comments. So if you are watching at home and I don't know because I can't see you signed in, then please consider doing that and then subscribing to the channel. There should be, I don't see a subscription button on this page. Maybe it's a little bit, you might have to scroll down a little bit. Let me check. Richard probably knows because Richard knows everything. I see oh, maybe it's because I'm signed in. Maybe I can't see it because it's my channel. So if somebody could take a look and see if there's a big red subscribe button, probably somewhere below the video. I'm not sure. I want to make sure I give people right information. That would be super cool. I would really appreciate it because I am signed in right now, so I don't think it would show up on my channel. Yeah, Steve, that's one of the, like, if nothing else, I can set shit up and it's fucking, like, it's the right way. I can wear t-shirts that I want to wear now. Like, I never could wear my Social D or my Misfits or anything because it was all like Sysmit or whatever. It was so irritating. So I'm so glad we can actually shoot stuff that's, correct. And I can hold up signs and books and titles and it won't look all fuckulated. Am I already swearing more? I might be. Okay, we are 1 minute to launch. Awesome. Okay, so Mary says, yes, there's a subscribe button. Great. Mine's gray and past tense because you rock. Very good. Thank you very much. And look who's here. Sam's here. But did you do the bell? Did you do the bell? Thank you. Oh my God, Sam's right. Not only do you have to subscribe, thank you, Sam, there's a little bell icon that you also have to click, right? Because that's how you get notified that something is posted. So like I was saying earlier, there's going to be a ton more videos. At some point at some point tomorrow before lunch, I'll be posting like a 40-second commercial preview for what's coming up next week. God willing, that will be a consistent thing now, is to be able to say, hey, here's what's coming up, and have a schedule somewhere online. We talked about that a little bit last week. And I'm lining people up. I don't know who all is, who's signed in and who's not. Oh, look at this. Fuck the Google Police. Sam is going to be bringing a whole new dimension of excitement to the show, everybody. Just in case you didn't know. Forgot to ring. Oh, you have to ring the bell. Yes, ring the bell. Anyway, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. Welcome to Tom Leveen Live. Yay! I'm so glad you guys are here. Hopefully there's also some of you watching from home who are not signed in. You really should sign in. I will remind you again in a couple of minutes because we got to get the subscription. So here's the thing. The short version is this. YouTube lives and dies on two things, views and subscriptions. I need both of those to grow the show, to grow the brand, to sell books, to have more people involved, to have more of you joining the show and chatting and talking about all this kind of stuff. So those are the two things. Anything we can do to up subscriptions and up views would be great. It's also the reason why moved over, why we migrated to YouTube, because that stuff didn't really matter on Facebook. It to the best of my knowledge, like, it just wasn't helpful. It was cool, it was easy, there's lots of people already on Facebook. I'm a little concerned of people being confused by the whole I have to create a channel thing, but you know what? They'll show up. They'll figure it out or not, or you'll just listen. It'd be cooler if you signed in and subscribed, though, and hit the bell. Anyway, YouTube is the future. This is the direction we're going. That's enough of that. Let's talk about the cold open. Let's see. Swear more. I forgot how much. Oh, yeah, we're totally talking about Zero, Sam. It's going to be great. So let me do my cold open really quick with a sentence I never thought I would hear myself say. So I was playing Minecraft earlier. Like, right off the bat. What what the? So obviously Minecraft has been around for fuck knows how long. I don't even know how many decades I think it's been around. And no matter what I heard about it, no matter what I saw of it, I was like, what is this? And why the hell is the entire planet age, 10 to 15 or whatever the hell it is, so enamored of this game? It looks ridiculous. Like, didn't we spend all of this time moving away from little blockish figures? I thought that was the whole point of how video games were going. That's the future. This is the past. What the hell? So I was playing it today. We got it for my son for Christmas finally, because of course he knows everything about it. I think it just came in a chip in his head when he was born. And I'm curious if there's any studies about the God complex that can develop by playing this game or games like it, because I'm out there just building some things like, oh look, I can light up this tower, wee, or whatever. It's just ridiculous. And as I'm flying around, because you can fly in creative mode, I'm just flying around, and then I see a village, and I go down to the village, I'm like, oh my god, there's a village. Who put this village here? It wasn't me. I didn't create it. Wow, there's a village here. And my son is like, they want to start a war. I'm like, with who? Like, with you. They want to start a war with you. I think he's full of shit, but that's what he said. Like, okay, what? And as soon as he says it, I start getting kind of like, I'm gonna fuck those guys up. Like, and it occurs to me, like, I can wipe out this village. I can go down there hand-to-hand combat in creative mode and just decimate them if I want to. So I start building a wall. I start building a glowing wall around this fucking village. And I'm like, ooh, you know what I could do? I could build a wall around the village, wall them in, and then I could dump lava on top of them and just cast everything into eternal fire. I can do that if I want to. And then I was like, Jesus, dude, what the hell? Why would you? And on the one hand, because Toby just kills everything. He's like, there's a pig, kill it. I'm like, why? On the one hand, like, they're little ones and zeros. They're not actual villagers. It's okay if you want to decimate the village because it gives you a thrill. Be my guest. On the other hand, I was like, yeah, but that's probably not a good way to start looking at the world, right? Am I wrong about this? Like, to start just looking, even though they're just little ones and zeros, little block-headed things or whatever, like, to have this sort of mentality suddenly of, like, I can do whatever I want and you can't stop me. I can do whatever I want to you. Nothing you can do about it. I want to build a wall around your village. Suffer. It's just kind of weird. And I'm curious if there have been any, like, studies on this and how does it get into your head that way? Is it different in this mode because I can't get killed versus the survival mode in which I assume you can? I got lost in a cave the other day and it was scary. Like, for a minute I was like, Jesus, I'm fucking stuck in here and there's no getting out. The reality is I can shut off the game, start a brand new one if I don't like where things are going. Cool. But in that moment, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, oh my god, I'm lost in a cave. I'm lost in a cave. I will never get out of this cave. Weird stuff, man. Very weird stuff. And now, I at least, having played it for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours total now, if that, probably not even that, I'm starting to see why people are addicted to it, and why kids spend so much time on it. Like, I was talking to my friend Joel, and he was like, on the one hand, it's not particularly violent, it's not gory, whatever, like, compared to, it's not Grand Theft Auto 18 or whatever the fuck, so that's cool. But you can do whatever you want, and that I feel like that comes with some sort of Spider-Man responsibility, you know what I mean? Anyway, just a thought. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Andy's here. Hello, Andy. I'm going to get all my hellos. Andy's here. Richard Stiller, enjoy. Good, we've got 9 of you guys here. That's awesome. Your son pulled a chain. We're going to get along just fine. Oh, Andy, what's going on? Well, okay. Andy, I don't know what's going on. I must have missed something on social media. I'm very sorry to hear things are not off to a good start. Let's fix that. Let's do our best tonight to fix that. So, one more time before I jump into... We'll start with 0, I think. Maybe. I don't know if we'll start with 0 or if we'll go the other direction. Anyway, if you happen to be watching at home and you are not signed in, please, if you have a Gmail, please sign into YouTube and then click your little your icon or whatever it's called, your image, your avatar, whatever. It might just be a letter for your first name or something. Click that, click Create Channel, and then join in the chat. That would be awesome. Join in the chat! I had to say it, I'm sorry. Because we live on subscriptions and views, so please do that if you're watching at home. Anyway, and then for everybody else, just share. There's not really a share button, so I don't know, share the link around maybe, go back to Facebook and be like, hey everybody, come over here now. As a matter of fact, if a couple of you want to jump over, actually, it's not like people are hanging out on Facebook waiting for me to go live, right? That would be weird. Yeah, so that's probably not going to work. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We just got to get the word out. Excuse me. This is what you two are doing all afternoon? Yes. A lot of the afternoon was spent playing Minecraft. I'm so sorry to say. We're bonding. Whee! We're also going to climb Camelback Mountain, though, so it's totally okay. It's totally all right. Zero. Oh, Zero. So Sam just read Zero, right? Yeah, you just read Zero and gave it another remarkable review on Twitter, which I need to share with you guys. And again, just picked up on so many of the what I thought were subtleties that are very intentional in the manuscript, and that people are starting to get. And I really appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. So Zero, so the background, if you didn't know about Zero, Zero started as a, and the ending. We'll talk about the ending, or at least around the ending, although I don't know if we have people who haven't read it, and if you haven't, if you care about spoilers. Andy, nice. So I wrote the first draft in 1993. Holy shit. And it was terrible, by the way. At some point in here, I'm going to post the first couple of pages and do a critique on them, because that would amuse me. And maybe we'll learn something. And then it sat around, then I reworked it. I never really intended necessarily to publish it, because you have to remember, you don't have to remember, the story is that for years and years and years and years, I just wrote books because I liked writing books. It never crossed my mind that I should try to publish them until I was in this shitty job, and I had a boss who said I was a substandard writer. Not that gets stuck in my head. Then I decided that I wanted to try to do this. Like, I never took it seriously for years, but I wrote like 3, 4, 5 books in that time while I was doing theater. Zero, or Gothic Rainbow, as it was called at the time, happened to be one of them, and then it turned into the second book I published. Now, it was the first book that, it was the book that got me my first agent, and she was not able to sell it, and then, big long story, my second agent then sold Party, which became my first novel, and Zero became my second published novel, after a much-needed name change. If you're familiar with the book, you'll notice the guy on the cover with the mohawk, and when I first saw the cover, I was like, you know what? People are going to ask about the guy with the mohawk, and I was assured, no, they won't. It's like a motif. It's like a punk rock thing. I'm like, I get that, but they're still going to want to know who the guy with the mohawk is. And I got like Facebook messages and emails like, I loved your book, Zero, it was so great. Where was the mohawk guy? I'm like, fuck, I know, I told you about, because that's what people do, and that's why the paperback has this guy instead. That's where that came from. If you've noticed, there's a difference between the two. That's where the drummer guy came from. Also, they took away the choker. I don't know why. I like the choker. I thought the choker was very Zero. I don't think it's in the book necessarily, but that feels like something that she would wear. Anyway, I feel like it's a very literal, not literal, literary sort of novel for YA. It doesn't have the pacing that something like Sick, for example, or Shackled, Random, some of those, I mean, those guys fucking move, and Zero's kind of like hanging out at the coffee shop with a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was deliberate. I wanted to take our time with these characters. It also takes place over a longer period of time than most of my other books. I think Random takes place over the course of like 8 hours, if even that. Sick is 12 hours, and it's not even 24, I don't think. Party, of course, is one night. That's about 12 to 14 hours, whereas Zero kind of takes the summer. She kind of takes her time with that story, and frankly, that is not that's not a pace that I am accustomed to, or even, it kind of scares me a little bit, because I feel like, well, I just jumped a week. What happened during that week? Where the reader's like, I don't give a fuck. Nothing happened. Nothing important happened. Don't worry about it. It's a weird. I have a kind of a hang up, frankly, on that. So, let me see. Wait, Mike didn't have a mohawk. No, he did not have a mohawk. He had the hair, right? He had the skater bangs, dude. I think I put that in there. Gothic Rainbow is an awesome title. Well, Andy, I thought so too, and so did the Romance Writers of America. But in looking at it, it didn't convey the story the same way Zero did. But then again, there's a lot of things that they did with the book, the cover, the marketing. I'm teasing, they didn't market it. That I didn't feel quite captured it. But I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you think that was a good title. I read books, guys. Let's see, what else are you saying? Mariah saying she's so cool. She is, Mariah. And here's the thing about that, and I don't know if I've ever talked with you about this before or not, because originally, like, I was the Mike character, and then Zero was sort of my basically manic pixie dream girl, for lack of a better term. She was like the dream girl, like this is all the cool stuff I want my girlfriend to be. Oh, you know, whatever. Except after reading that first draft, Mike was a dick. He was a total asshole, and it took several drafts for me to realize, or maybe just age, I don't know, but to get away from that, be like, wow, this guy's a cock. Why would she even want to date him? This is ridiculous. So Mike got a complete overhaul to make it into this book, for sure. By the time that happened, I was much more Zero than I was Mike. So I'm glad you like her, because she's probably, of all the characters I've written, she's one of the ones that's probably the closest to me in a lot of ways. Most similarities, I think, but there's a few others. Certainly not Tyler, or whatever. Zero scratches my head. It's day to life. Oh, Mary. And that's where the book goes. Nice. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Are you sure, Sam? Did I? Like I said, I haven't read the book in a long time. I need to go back and read it. But yeah, he had the long... You know what, Mariah, would you set Sam straight, please? Explain to him what Mike looks like. So it got 0 marketing. Thank you, Andy. Well played, sir. Yes. And I should have thought of it. I am not hating... Somebody else? I'm not hating on Tyler. No. I do not hate on Tyler. The thing about Tyler is that, yeah, Manic Pixie is the... It is not autobiographical by any stretch, but it is the most autobiographical of all the books. So by comparison to other books, way more autobiographical, for sure, but more like an emotional level than an actual this is what happened kind of level. Nah, not at all. I don't hate on Tyler. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think he's a dick, and that pisses me off. They say the same thing about Tori in Random, which is fair because she's the villain, but with Tyler, it's like, he's 17. What the fuck do you want? Like, we can't all be sparkly old vampires who fucking get everything right. Like, 17 is not good. Okay? At least for dudes. Like, by 17, a lot of women have already kind of figured their shit out. We still have no fucking clue. And that's how I played the character. That's how I wrote him. And I will not apologize for that anymore. Anyway, 0. So the ending of 0. I got... So I was sharing drafts of the story in a creative writing class over at Scottsdale Community College back in 93, 94. And people were very receptive to it. And this is one of those classes where you read like 10 pages, which is an awful way to do this, by the way. Don't ever do that class. But we'd read the pages, and then people would comment, and you take notes on it, blah, 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 which is fine. Good teacher, good students. We had a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people. And we, over the course of the semester, everyone basically had 3 opportunities to share work. So I shared something from the beginning, something from the middle, and then on my last opportunity, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to give them the ending and see what happens. And this class full of people who'd been really tracking with the book and really enjoying the story were just dead silent when I stopped reading, and then somebody just flipped the fuck out. They're like, I hate this ending! And it just blew up, and I just got fucking slammed by people who hated the ending, which is the same ending in the book. Hasn't changed. It's the exact same thing. What 0 chooses to do has been what 0 chose to do for fucking like 20 years, man. Never gonna change it. And at no point was I ever considering changing it. And at no point did any editor or agent suggest that I change it. It is fucking crucial that 0 make that decision, don't you think? It has to be. And this is the thing. I'm just gonna bitch. Fuck it. Listen, I keep seeing, because I can trust you guys, I keep seeing stuff on, like, particularly Twitter, about, like, and if I'm wrong, please fucking correct me. I'm watching the chats. Please correct me if I'm wrong about this. I know I can trust you guys with this, and to do that. But I keep seeing stuff about strong women, but they have to be realistic, and where's the feminism, and where's the... And I'm like, yeah, I fucking wrote that book, like, 8 years ago. Sorry you didn't see it, but it's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and am I wrong to be pissed about that? But I feel like I did. I have heard, and Joy can back me up on this, I have heard from so many women the shock that I was able to capture 0 the way that I did. Cool, and I appreciate that, and I take that as a compliment. Very, very much so. That happens to be a character I do well. I do 17-year-old girls really well. I don't know why. I have no clue, but I do. Okay, cool. And I thought she made the strongest choice possible at the end of this book. Don't you think? Like, if it had gone the other way, the way people were pissed about, like, God, that would have just fucking pulled the rug out from under her. Everything that she did, it would have pulled the rug out from Mike, for that matter. It couldn't have gone that way. Here's the thing about that, though. In the class, I remember specifically, and it took me a couple days for it to filter and for me to catch this, but in retrospect, looking back at that class, I realized, wait a minute, none of them critiqued the writing. None of them said to change it. None of them said that it should have that she should have made the other choice. And so what finally dawned on me was they're pissed at the characters. Dude, that's awesome. Like, that's a victory. If you finish that book and you're pissed because the thing that you thought was going to happen didn't happen, that's fine, man. That is totally okay. I think that means I did my job. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have no regrets about that whatsoever. I need to scroll up here and see what you guys are talking about, because I have a feeling you've been talking some really cool stuff, and I can't wait to see what it is. Okay. Worried about that body dysmorphia stuff on Zero's part was scary accurate. Yeah, it was scary accurate, I think, and that's not me. I don't have that, as far as I know. I don't have that that particular issue. I've got plenty of other issues, Sam. But it just felt like. I think the strength that I bring to a character like Zero is that I'm observant. I tend to be very observant and kind of pick people apart from a distance, and that portrayal of her self-image, I felt like I had just heard and seen so many times in so many of my friends who were girls, where the whole "I'm so fat" thing. It's like, fucking what? Like, me and all my guy friends would hear this and be like, "What the fuck is she talking about? Fat? What?" And that's the God's honest truth. So yeah, I was just relating stuff that I'd heard, man. You know what I'm saying? And but I think it was accurate. I do think it was accurate. Let's see. Halfway through Manic Pixie, I was totally like, Tyler's a self-insert. Yes. Yeah. More autobiographical than Manic Pixie. No. Manic Pixie is more autobiographical emotionally. Although Steve, having asked that question about Manic Pixie and Zero, Zero was much more of a reflection, the first draft anyway, was much more a reflection of what was happening at that time in my life, because I was 18, 19. And the thing is about 18, 19, I don't know if it's still true or not. I think it probably is. Particularly in the 90s. God, I miss the 90s. The 90s were great. Because we could afford to be melodramatic. In a pre-9/11 world, we could get so bent out of shape about such little shit. We had this luxury and this freedom to just worship fucking Kurt Cobain or whatever the fuck. I never really did, but people did. Like, all right. And we had that luxury. And then 2001 happened, and it felt like, well, that shit's over. Like, everything fucking changed. Now that we're in a generation who wasn't even born when 9/11 happened. Like, that's just fucking history books. I'm waiting, someday my kid's going to come home and ask me a question about that. Like, were you there? It was such a changed thing. Anyway, it was more of a reflection of what was happening, but not of me, I don't think, as a person. So all the punk rock stuff and the coffee and the cigarettes and all that was the 90s, man, and it was great. It was such a good time, and I'm so sad that it's gone. I hope we can get it back. Okay, Mary says, totally feel Zero on the Camelback angle. Yeah, Camelback Mountain. I live too far away to be quite that zoomed in, but it's still a special mountain. Yeah, Camelback is just, I have never lived in a place where I couldn't see it, at least a little bit. Never in my life, which is a long time. And I remember my friend Joel flying in to Phoenix one time from New York. He said, every time I make that flight, as soon as I see Camelback, I go, I'm home. It's such a unique landmark. But yeah, it's a very real thing for those of us who kind of grew up with it, I think. It has a lot of meaning. So I'm glad to hear that, Mary. Thank you. Steve says Zero made the more mature decision. Absolutely. Maybe that's what bothered them. That might have been it. I mean, we were all like 19 and 20-year-olds. Remind me to go back and tell you the story about the leprechaun. Oh, God, Joel, I hope you're watching. You're not, but I hope you were, because that would be funny as hell. Anyway, I don't get why it would have pulled the rug out from Mike. I think I might have misspoken there, Sam, but I feel like... and I can't proof text this, but I kind of feel like had she made the other choice, as much as Mike would have wanted her to go, and I think he did, I think part of him, because he was in tune with her. That's the thing about this relationship that I love so much, is they were in tune with each other. And I definitely didn't want Mike riding it on a white horse. That was no mas. Not going to happen in my story. I still refuse to do stories like that because they're ridiculous. For me, anyway. Some people like them, great. I think he would have felt the difference, though. You know what I mean? I like to believe, from kind of a third eye view, that he would have, as a character, been like, wait, what? Like, yeah, no, I want you to come. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It could be life-changing. Are you sure? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I also may have just talked before I heard myself, so. Mariah says, well, on page 14, you'll see that Mike... Love it. This is great. Mike isn't drop-dead gorgeous, sort of a narrow face, short hair except his bangs. I knew it. Way old school with a body like a scarecrow. Yes, but his eyes. Oh, yeah, we gotta do the eyes. Thank you, Mariah, for clearing that up. In the heat. Oh, Mary says, the end of Zero made me sad, but it had to happen like that. Yes, it would have been weak sauce to end on an idealistic, romantic, at all costs kind of note. Absolutely. Thank you, Mary. I agree. If you can make your audiences feel, that's more important than cliched ending where the audience gets what they expect. Agreed, Andy. I just don't know if it sells books. We'll see. Well done, Sam. Yes, it is clearly the autobiography of Tom's life as a teenage girl. I'm not going to argue with that. And his love for Dolly. Yeah, Dolly's cool. I love Dolly. Joy agrees with Andy. Gotta miss the 90s. Echoed by... Yeah, the 90s. I could go on and on about the 90s, and maybe I will. 9/11 to today's kids is going to be like the Vietnam War was to us 90s teenagers. Yeah. It's so... I mean, there's... I don't want to go too far off base, but this is... Joy and I have been kind of discussing this. The combat that we're still in overseas right now, Afghanistan in particular. I don't know if we're doing combat in Iraq or not. I don't think we are, but I'm not sure. Like, that's been going on since then. There were babies who were born in 2001, fucking, right? No, maybe not quite. Not quite yet. Just before 2001. Grew up, joined the army, and went to fucking Afghanistan. Like... And to me, as a, 40-something guy, I'm like, this just happened yesterday, right? Oh, wait, no, it was fucking 17 years ago. And just how fucked up that is. Like, I don't even know, I don't have the words for it. It's just it's so wrong. And it makes, like, I think that's almost one of the reasons I had to, because you have to understand, like, the book didn't come out until 2013, I think. But it had to be set in 93. I never say 93, but it's implied that it's 93. But you have to read, here's the thing, you have to read closely to catch what year it is, because there were a couple people, on Goodreads of course, love you Goodreads, who were like, I just don't understand why they didn't call each other on their phones. Why didn't he just send a text? And I'm like, because it's fucking 1993, that's why. Oh my god. And part of me is like, dude, you should have just said it was 1993. Don't get so fucking, like, caught up in yourself. Like, look how clever I am. I never say it's 93. Woo! Like, no, just fucking say it. Why not just fucking say it? The reason I didn't say it is I was concerned that the readership I was going after would see that it was 93 and then not want to read it because it's the past. I was probably mistaken about that. I think that was a mistake on my part. But still. Like, I don't know. Sorry, Goodreads. Oh, help for review. Sam, I have to review a comment. I'm gonna let it show because I think we can handle it. Bam. Let's see if that shows up. Yeah, the sex scene. The second time I read it, everything clicked and chill. Yeah. That scene in the car, man. It was so incredibly important. And here's the thing. Insight on that, Sam, actually. And those of you who are also fans of Zero. That scene was one of the last changes to take place in the manuscript. Excuse me. Every draft of this novel, from 1993 to just before we turned in the final draft for publication, they started to hook up, and then he stops it. For, 19 years, that scene didn't happen that way. And I can't remember exactly. I remember the thought process, but I can't remember exactly what made me decide that. But at some point in rereading it, I was like, that doesn't work. This has to happen. Not only does it have to happen, it has to be the most non-scintillating sex scene ever. No one should read this scene and be like, oh man, I'm turned on. Like, no, you're not. Because it's not. Because they shouldn't. They shouldn't be doing this, and they both know it, and it's for all the wrong fucking reasons. And we can talk about blah blah, I love you and blah blah. Like, no, right now is the world's worst time to do that. So of course you do it, of course, because that's how it works. Particularly at that age, but not just that age. I think we all know that. Yeah, it had to happen, and it had to be kind of awful, and that makes me think, to go back to the previous discussion about feminism and writing women as a guy and stuff like that, I can't help but wonder if that's the scene where my female readers turned the cover back over and said a dude wrote that. You know what I'm saying? Like, was that a surprise to them? That coming in as a man writing sex, it was not at all like, woo, like, because it wasn't. It's not sexy time. It's just not. I don't know that I've had any sexy time in my books, and if I do, it's usually like, let's compare that to their first kiss, though, or when they first hold hands on the mountain. Like, that was supposed to be like, oh my god, like, that was supposed to be steamy, because that's the shit. Those first kisses and those first, like, when you actually make contact, like, that had to be the coolest part, right? And to then contrast that with, like, oh look, we're having sex, this incredible, most intimate thing we can do, and yet it kind of falls apart, and it's not great at all, and it's the worst decision that we've made together so far. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but excuse me, my voice is going to go out before we're done. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Sam says it was painful to read. Thank you. I will take that as a compliment, because it was supposed to be painful. It was absolutely supposed to be painful, and accurate. That's what I go for. For most of the time, that is what I'm shooting for. Okay, what else? Tom hates genitals confirmed. I do. They're gross. Sometimes there's no such thing as good teen sex. Thank you, Andy. That's well put. It was awful, so sad and uncomfortable. Yes, it was. It was. All three have had bad teen sex and no good teen sex. Oh, you know what, Sam? So yeah, Manic Pixie, same thing. Zero. What was the other one? God, I'm trying to think. What was the other book, Sam? I don't doubt it. I'm not surprised. Yeah, because I've read. I don't know. That's a whole other discussion. So while you're writing that, once again, if you're watching at home, thank you very much. If you have a Gmail account, please sign into YouTube and then click Create Channel on your little icon in the upper right. Would really appreciate that. And then click subscribe and the little bell. YouTube survives and thrives on subscriptions and views. So if you're just watching at home or listening at home without being signed in, I don't get credit for you watching, and I need to get those views up, and that's what's going to make this machine just take over the world. So if you're watching or listening at home and you're not signed in, please do that and click the create a channel so you can join us in the chat. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Zeno. Mariah's like, Zeno. I felt the same way, Mariah. I felt the exact same way. Like, don't do it. Like, it was hard to write, but like, girlfriend makes mistakes. That's what she does. She's so good at making mistakes, right? Also random. Okay. Good. Yeah. And, Steve says random's my favorite. Thank you, Steve. We could spend all night on that one, too. Yeah. And click the like button, too. Thank you, Andy. Damn, thank you very much. Click the like button. Yes. Click the thumbs up if you're signed in, because that will also help the algorithm. Appreciate that, Andy. Anywho, Zero. Yeah. I really need to reread this. Oh, and then there was this other... she's on Instagram. I don't think it's any of you guys. I'm pretty sure, but somebody had drawn some pictures on the chapter headings. They were just gorgeous. I have a couple pictures of them somewhere I need to post again. But they were just so cool. Just little line art drawings. I was like, I want to do that in a book on purpose. Like, I want to write a book with the intention of having an artist do some really cool graphic stuff on the chapter headings or something like that. And I might actually do that for a horror novella that I'm working on. We'll see. I need to get back to writing. God, I haven't written anything in forever. It's okay. It's all right. 000. Yeah, I do love Zero. I'm glad people are still reading her. I really wish she would. I mean, you know, I wish this for all my books. I wish she would have gotten the spread. I wish she would have gotten the visibility that I think she deserves. It's in many ways it's a superior novel to like Party, for example, depending on your point of view and your taste, of course, obviously. I think from a critical standpoint, I think it is technically better in many ways than Party. Like in Party, there were a couple of characters who moved the story forward but didn't really necessarily deserve their own point of view, for example. I wouldn't change it necessarily, but there were some weaknesses to the structure there, I think, even though Party got a lot of play, and that was great, and a lot of people read that book, which is cool, and I appreciate that. I had assumed that those same people would pick up Zero, and frankly, I don't think they ever knew it existed. That's the truth. I really think that's what happened, and so I rely on you guys, my evangelists out there, to let everybody know it's out there and that it's a great book. That'd be super. Which I know you do, so it's okay. Anyway. Oh, Krista, I didn't see you here. Hi, Krista. Random was the first one you read, and you came back? Yeah, Random's rough, man. Random is... A lot of people did not like that book. But again, they were mistaken. They thought they didn't like the book. I was like, I think you don't like Tori because you didn't understand that she was the villain. You have to go into it understanding that that's the thing, and that's not the kind of thing you can broadcast, although I've started broadcasting it. Yeah, a lot of people did not like that book, and it was like, because they hated her, like, they hate her guts. And I'm like, cool, feel free. Did you get it? Did you understand why you hate her guts? And, anyway. Zero audiobook. I know. Okay, so here's the thing, Mariah. I had a performer lined up, oh God, at least a year ago, maybe more. I had somebody lined up. I had an actor, and she recorded a sample for me and sent it back. And I was like, good voice, but she's not catching Zero, right? So I gave her some notes. Maybe they were too extensive because I didn't hear from her for like 2 weeks. And then she emailed back and said, I don't think this is going to work. Sorry to waste your time. Bye-bye. I was like, oh, shit. And then I just, by that point, other things started happening, so I didn't ever follow up on getting a new actress. Excuse me. So, yes, it's coming. I just got to find the right person. I do have one person in mind, but she doesn't read. Like, she's read the book, but, like, she doesn't read but she's an actor, and she's really good. So I'm like, I don't know. So, yes, the Zero audiobook is totally coming. Trust me. You will be the first to know. Because I want to hear it, too. I want to hear somebody really, really good nail Zero's voice, you know? I would do it myself, but, God, that'd be so weird. Don't say a word, Sam. Come back for... Hi, Kristen. Yeah, Sam, the comeback tour. God, yeah. Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? Yeah, villain protagonists are fun. They are. They all are. Of course they are. Let's see. Random was amazing. Yeah, not my favorite, but still amazing. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Sex, there was none of those things, and the scene reflected that. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not... I don't know. I could go on and on about the whole sex scene thing, but... Thank you, Steve. Yeah, that was the idea with Random. That was the idea. Like, jump in there, grab them, and just jump off the cliff, which is a terrible analogy for Random, but that was what I wanted to do. It had to be so fast. And we'll talk more about Random in an upcoming episode, but... excuse me. Interesting tidbit about Random. The genders were actually switched. The original draft, Tori was a guy, and the mystery caller was a girl. And I wrote maybe 4 chapters like that, and my agent came back and she's like, I think these are the other way around. And we had many discussions back and forth about that before I finally decided, yep, I think you're right, and we went back and switched it. I still think that was the right way to go. It's just an interesting little historical sidebar. Let's see. Right, better actor, I'd jump on that so fast. Oh, Mary, you have no idea. I know. That's the thing. I know. Thank you for the offer. And I appreciate it. Unrelated to anything. You can. Oh, Andy, what are we talking about? Unrelated to anything. You can tell Tom and I are both old school interneters because both of our usernames are one word, all lowercase. Oh, I'm lucky, dude. It's amazing I even use my actual name because when I started and when you started, it was like whatever you do, don't use your real name online. Fuck, you know, like that was the worst fucking thing you could do because the Iranians will find you or some shit, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. Like, it took a while to catch up. Like, we can just, people are using their name and email addresses. That's not good. They're going to know everything. But here's the thing. They do know everything. Like, we've given up this level of privacy, right? And it's a huge level of privacy. I don't know where the fuck this signal's going right now. Like, oh, it's on YouTube, but where else is it going? What else? Like, I don't know. I'm like looking for, are there any telltale signs of, let's not go there. Anyway, we missed the 90s. And, oh, Steve, you could totally voice Mike. Oh, you could. Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Steve doesn't know this, you guys, but Steve and I are getting ready very soon to shoot a scene from Mercy Rule. Aren't we, Steve? Yes, we are. That shit's gonna happen, my friend. Just because I want to see it. That's the thing. Everything that I do as an author, as a creator, I do it because I want to see it, or I want to hear it, or I want to read it. That's it. That is the driving force. That's everything. You know, I've got however many people watching right now that are signed in, and however many people are watching or listening at home without signing in, which you should sign in right now if you are. Cool. I'm going to be back Wednesday doing it again, because this is something I would be doing anyway, right? The books, the comic book. Oh, dude, I got to post this cover, but I don't know if I want to do the reveal yet. The comic book, the audiobooks, the movies, the plays, the pilot TV shows, the fucking screenplay, all of it. I do it because I want to read it, or I want to see it, and then I want to share it with all of you. That's it. That's where it comes from, you know? I have no idea where the hell I was going with that, but just so you know, that's what this is about. Creating it and then shipping it off to you guys, and hopefully you will enjoy it. That's it. That's all I need. Anyway, let's see. That's part of why Psycho Andy's stuck. Of course, Andy. That makes total sense. My first AOL account was Tam Cronin. I started out with this as my username, not my pen name. I had so many goddamn usernames back then. It was like I must have had 6 or 8 AOL accounts of varying kinds for whatever reason. Fucking AOL, Jesus. Oh, that feels like see, for some reason that feels like a long time ago. Like, grunge feels like a couple weeks ago. AOL feels like a fucking lifetime. I don't know what the difference is, because I still listen to Pearl Jam. I don't know. Oh my god, a book from Mike's angle. With lyrics before every chapter. Oh, Jesus, Mariah, don't do that to me. Okay, since there's only a few of you, I'm going to tell you a secret. I did not plan to do this, but since we are talking about Zero tonight, I will tell you a secret. There does, in fact, exist the first chapter or two of a sequel to Zero. And, more importantly, it takes place now. So we cover the whole from 93 to like 2015, 2016, something like that. I would keep updating it, you know, depending on what year I wrote it. But it exists. They run into each other. Those two characters do see each other again, and I have plans for them. I don't have a plot, but I do know where they ended up. I do know what they're up to. I do have the first sequence when they finally see each other again for the first time after all these many years, and it's fun, and it's the kind of thing that because the novel didn't get widespread visibility, I want to know. Like, I'm just curious what the hell's going to happen, and if I ever write the whole thing, you guys are getting it. Like, you're just going to get it. Here you go. Like, it's not something, you know, Random House isn't slobbering for me to do a sequel to fucking Zero. Trust me. I originally thought, I don't think I would do this now because I don't think it would be fair. Originally, I was going to write my best version of the sequel, and then go back and change all the names, and try to publish it just as an adult novel, and then just tell a few of you, like, that's the sequel. Although I feel like, just based on tonight's chat, I feel like you would already know. I think you would read page 1 and be like, that's fucking Zero. You know? That's Mike, what the hell? So I don't think I would ever go that route. It feels cheap to me. You know, like, you want to write an adult romance or something, Tom? Then go fucking do that. Just go commit to that. Don't fucking be all... Every time I try to get crazy and creative and like, ooh, I'm pulling something, it never fucking works. It never works. Versus every time I'm like, you know what sounds cool? I'm going to do this. Shit works out. I need to stick with that. I really need to get my headspace back there. Anyway, I know. See, now I'm going to be in trouble because everyone's going to be mad that I didn't do it yet. Yeah, Joy's right. Sorry, I should have mentioned. Yeah, the original drafts for Zero were multiple perspective. Usually it was just Zero and Mike. But there was also a little bit of Hobbit in there and some other stuff. So, but yeah, and then eventually, obviously, we changed that. So yeah, it was different. It wasn't as good then. I don't know if I would do that again or not. Probably not. I feel like Mike needs to stay, for me as a writer, I think he needs to stay in that third person. I'm not sure. Oh, really? Yes. I want to see that so bad. I know. What? I'm on the edge of it. I know. I'm sorry. See, this is what I shouldn't have even told you. I'm so sorry. Is the draft called 1? Sam, you're welcome to go anytime now, my friend. You can just, I'm sure you have things to do. You just couldn't not, could you? Somebody had to do it, and it was Sam. I should have seen that coming. Then I lost my place. Where'd I go? Write it, please. Thank you. We want this. The demand is there. Yes. Better than -1. Thank you, Steve. That's right. -1. I don't have a title. I have no fucking clue what it would be called. Yeah, that never even crossed my mind. Right now it's just the Zero sequel or Gothic Rainbow sequel. It could be called Gothic Rainbow, I suppose, since there's this segment of people who would like that title, but I don't know. Yes, so trust me, if it's you guys you would be the first to know, for sure. You would be the first to know if and when that ever happens. Because like I said, I've got that first couple chapters. But here's the flip side though. What if it sucks? What if it goes in a direction you're like, oh, this is terrible? Because then once you've seen it, you can't get rid of it, right? Remember Phantom Menace, anybody? You can't scrub that shit. It's in there forever. There's a risk. There is a risk involved in this. I just want you to know that. Think about it. Before you ask too much, think about the consequences. Anyway, where did we go? Did we even get to... It's like we have 15 minutes. Gothic Rainbow for the win. Fewer things need sequels. Oh, see, Andy gets it. Yeah. Fewer things need sequel. Let good work stand on its own. Thank you, Andy. But, oh, damn it, I spoke too soon. I do like that you've decided what's happened to them after the book ends. Yeah, I've known for a long time, I think. Many, many years now. At some point, I think I was probably driving somewhere. I was like, what did happen to those people? Because there's some of the... Zero and Mike are amongst the few characters who I personally care about what happened to them afterwards, you know? There's a few others. As I've been working on the pilot for Party, for example, I'm having to take Party and then extrapolate out into further storylines. Like the manager I was working with put it this way. He's like, think of it as a movie with 40 sequels. You're like, fuck, and that makes total sense. He's exactly right. So trying to draw out those characters and that one situation from Party into an entire season or 2 or 10 or whatever, right, of these kids' lives is like, fuck, I don't know. Which is probably why I said what I did earlier about how some of the characters didn't need to be point of view characters, because as I'm writing the pilot, there's not 11 points of view. There's like 7. I tried to do 6 and then realized I needed one more. So for some of them, I want to see what happens. But like all of the other books, like I'll tell you this right now. Not that anybody's clamoring, maybe a few people. So help me God, there will never be a sequel to Hellworld. Fucking no way in shit. And I probably bitched about this to you guys before, but at some point, at least one person put in a review, used the words "the inevitable sequel," and I'm like, fuck you in the face. No. Never have you been more wrong about a fucking comment. There's a few, but that one in particular really sticks out because the whole fucking point of Hellworld was how it ended. That is the most self-contained fucking novel I have ever written in my life. There will never be a sequel to Hellworld. I get a little animated about it. I apologize. No, I don't. But yeah, the themes of Hellworld are way, way too important to worry about writing a sequel. Some kind of action-packed sequel where we try to save the world. Like, no. You missed the fucking point. You missed the entire point. Did you read the last line of the book? That says it all. That is... Anyway. And then the other characters, like, yeah, I don't want to know about Tori. I don't want to know about Pelly, really. I'm trying to think who else. Oh, no, I take that back because there is a sequel. We've talked about this before. There is a sequel of sorts to Mercy Rule, but that one is a different case because Mercy Rule was I wrote that book first and then wrote Mercy Rule after writing that one, so that one doesn't really count. And that wouldn't be a series. If and when I do get around to writing and publishing the second book in Mercy Rule, that's a self-contained thing that gets launched by the events in Mercy Rule, but it's a standalone kind of thing. It's more of a companion than a sequel. So that one doesn't count. That one gets a pass, I think. Violent Ends, no. Zero. Yeah, Tyler, no desire to know what happens there. Although, going back to the Mike point of view thing, that was actually one of the things I had pitched my agent after we sold Manic Pixie Dream Girl, was that I wanted to do another one, because originally it was called Mustard Seed, and then they changed the title. So it was supposed to be Mustard Seed and then Sparky, I think, were going to be the two books, and we were going to learn about stuff from Becky's point of view. So I did have that idea, and it never got off the ground. Apart from that, I don't need to see them again. Sick is a different story, because that one also ended up being part of what was supposed to be a much more, a huge, like a world building kind of thing. Like that was supposed to be a sequel to a previous story that I had notes for but didn't write. Some of you may remember I tried to get it off the ground as, what the fuck was it called? Hopeless. Hopeless is supposed to be the first book in the series, followed by Sick, and then many years after Sick, another book takes place, and things have changed, and the world has changed, and there were going to be some spin-offs off of that, but they weren't going to really involve most of the characters from Sick. And that's the thing about, like, was it a sequel? Is it not a sequel? It's like, well, Brian was in it, but he wasn't the main character. So Sick was supposed to be a whole, starting off a series of things and worlds and stuff like that, and I don't know if I'll ever get to do that or not. I hope so. I've got the stories, I've got the notes. We'll see what happens. And then I've got stuff that, like, oh god, I have so much stuff to write, you guys. I have so much stuff to write, and anyway, what are you guys talking about? Okay, if it sucks, make it a short story. That's a bonus for real fans. You know, yes, I know. Some of you will inevitably see it, Mary, I'm quite sure. To know Mike only through zeros. I saw, thank you, Joy. The closer we can get to another person, we aren't actually in their head. Ooh, good point, Joy. I like that. That's what I meant to say. Krista says, that's my favorite, and I don't need a sequel. All right, see? Thank you. Now I want to watch Rosencrantz and Guildenstern for some reason. There could be a lot of reasons for that, Richard. Not the first of which is questions. Anyway. Read a shitty sequel on purpose, like William Goldman did with The Princess Bride. There's additions with the first chapter of the sequel, and it's intentionally shit so nobody wants more. That's brilliant. Difficult to do, but I see where that's going. Scally says, I want more Cadence. Yeah, no, Cadence is definitely one of the anchors in the sequel to Mercy Rule, 53rd and 3rd, for sure, for sure. She was one of the first characters I came up with for that story, and she was kind of designed to be the anti-Zero. Because I wrote so many, like, morose, emotional, you know, whatever. I really needed something to leaven that a little bit, and that's where Cadence kind of came from. It's like, I wanted somebody who was just like, wee, I'm excited about life, you know. And then just beat the crap out of her and see, you know, how much can she take? And to be the Rock, you know, and she really is. So yes, I thank you for saying that, though. Cadence is one of my favorite creations, I have to say. She really is. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I get Sick should be a Netflix series. Funny you should mention that, Steve. Apparently there is a Netflix series that is set in a high school with zombies. Found out about that a few months ago. Anyway, but wait, Sam says, but I feel like it's potentially wholesome enough to work. Are you talking about Sick? What are you talking about, Sam? Oh, here we go. I'd be down for a Manic Pixie sequel if it's from Becky's point of view. Yeah. Yeah. I get why it ended the way it did. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Potentially wholesome enough to work. I do like Becky as a character. I really came to identify with her a lot writing as Tyler. We'll talk about that in another episode, but yeah, for sure. Such a painful read. Yeah. Oh, really, Mary? I'm sorry. I mean, sorry, not sorry, right? But thank you for saying it. Sick deserves a video treatment film. Sure. I have had 2 indie guys ask me about Sick. One of them even started working on a script, allegedly, and then I gave him however many months and tried to follow up, and nothing. And I was like, dude, you guys, you can't do this. You can't get me all excited. Because here's the thing. At this point, and I don't remember if we talked about this before or not. I'm going to say it again anyway. Mostly as a reminder for myself. Like, do I want, you know, fucking whoever's hot in Hollywood to find Sick? And trust me, I've given away, every time I meet a celebrity, I fucking hand out copies of my book, not because I believe in any way, shape, or form they're going to read it on the plane and go, holy fuck, I got to do this. but they might. That's not why I give it to them. I give it to them to say thank you. This is my little piece of what you gave to me as a performer, and I just want to say thank you. That is honest to God and truly my reason for doing it. But let's just say some hot, do I want somebody, some big name to find sick or whoever, whatever book, and make some great big fucking movie out? Of course I do. I will sign on any dotted line you want me to. Not a problem. I'm not that proud. Having said that, if there's some fucking 18-year-old high school kid, and again, this has happened a couple times, who runs into it and is like, fuck, can I shoot this? I'm like, sure, do it. Let's go. I mean, let's do the paperwork and make it proper, but yeah, go for it. Because I've been sitting on this fucking thing since, 2013, 14, 15, whatever the fuck it was. Like, I just would rather see it done. And it's like, on the one hand, well, you realize they don't have a budget and how cheap and it might be shitty and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, it might, but that's what I did. I ran a fucking theater company for fucking 16 years doing that shit. You just do it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather it got done. You know what I mean? For any of the books. If, like, I understand, Stephen King's thing, not to make comparisons, but, like, I understand the dollar baby idea. Like, fuck it, here you go. Why not? Why not? Yeah, so fuck it. Would I rather make millions of dollars selling an option? Yes. That'd be super. But if somebody else gets to it first, tough fucking shit. Go do it. Let's make the fucking art, God damn it. Anyway. Woo! Thanks for joining us. Treatment short film series, yeah. Expanding on background characters, yeah. Cadence may be my all-time favorite book character. Steve, thank you. Cadence is awesome, yeah. Ooh, Beckett and Morgan, yeah. Thank you, Andy. Mary says, I'd jump on a shitty rendition of one of my stories by a high schooler. Hell yeah. Right? Yeah, exactly. You got it, Mary. You understand. Yeah, thank you, Andy. Yeah, the Morgan, Beckett, yeah, because Beckett is one of my other all-time, actually, and Morgan, two of my favorite creations. I'll tell you, I've approached a manager about getting some representation for that pilot. I am not holding my breath, but at least I know a little bit more about the industry than I did, 2 months ago. Starting very slowly to make these connections and figure out how that kind of stuff works. Because that would be super cool. I think those are fun characters. The guy that I was working with was very complimentary of the story and of my writing, which was really nice to hear from somebody who's like enmeshed in the business. So who knows? Who knows? And the other thing is, what? If people don't start clamoring for the rights, then I'm gonna do it myself. I don't care. I do not care. That's why we're doing the sick comic book. Like, I just want to see the comic book. I don't want to see it. I want to see it. And we found a great artist, and we've got 2 awesome covers coming. Correction, 3 awesome covers coming, Andy. Because I just want to see it. I have a whole idea for shooting party that I may or may not get around to. I don't know. It's not a priority, but it's on my list. And with my shift over into video, I might try to do it here at some point. I don't know. I think we're going to start with some smaller things, some scene work, Steve, and see where it goes. But yeah, I would just rather do it. I would just so much rather do it. Anyway, I don't want an Atari Party sequel. No, just more of those two being best friends and having wacky teenage misadventures. Yes, I think, Andy, that's more... There would never be a Party the Novel sequel, for sure. There may very well someday be a video type film, TV, YouTube, whatever type of series that follows them along through the summer. But not another novel. That's kind of out of the question for me. I don't need to... Yeah, I agree. Mark, your BU of A. So yeah, Mark, by any chance, were you around in the 90s when, everyone had to come up with a not their name ID? Because clearly some of us did not grow out of it. That's pretty cool. Oh, Steve Scally plays Rebane in Shackled. That would be fucking badass. That is actually the other manuscript that I have a screenplay for Shackled because I wanted to write one, and I felt like that would be the cheapest to produce. That doesn't strike me as a very expensive script. So yeah, that would be... Oh, see, I need you and Mary, different Mary, to do that scene in the Jeep that we talked about with Mercy Rule. I need to get you guys on screen together and see how the chemistry rolls, because if it's what I think it is, oh shit, dude, we could blow this whole thing wide open. We could blow this whole thing wide open. What time is it? All right. Oh my God, it's almost 9 o'clock. Okay, so couple things. Number one, if you are, again, last time I'm going to say it tonight, if you're watching at home, it's not too late to sign in with Gmail into YouTube, click create channel. You never have to post anything. It doesn't mean a fucking thing. It just means you can join chats and comment on videos on YouTube. That's all it means. That's all it means. So if you're doing that, real quick, before we sign off tonight, please jump in and do that and join us. That would be so great. And then click subscribe. For the rest of you who are here and watching, if you haven't, make sure you click the little thumbs up guy, because as Andy said, that also helps the algorithms, helps me out, and we want to create, all of us, we want to create a media empire. All right? That's what we're doing here tonight. We are launching fucking this brand, whatever the fuck it is, and we're going to take over the world with great stories that make you laugh and make you cry, make you feel good, and hopefully change the world for the better. That's the goal. Right? That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. Anyway, having said all of that, where the fuck was I going? We didn't talk about resolutions at all, and that's cool. We can do that some other time. Like June would be good. This is something, okay, I'm just going to say it, fuck. Something, and I didn't want to talk about it on Facebook, so I wanted to wait till we all got here tonight. So here we go. Let me make sure what's going on. Did I miss anything? Let's just say consistent. We're going to play. Wait, there was a moment in a play whose title totally escapes me, in which Michael Peck went fully on scary. Oh, Joy is talking about, oh my God, yeah, The Woodsman. Kevin Bacon did the film version of the stage play called The Woodsman, and it's about a guy who is a convicted pedophile, did his time, and now is out. And Michael fucking Peck, no, this is what happens to me, you guys. Hands down, has to be one of the greatest shows I've ever done. And I've directed over 30 plays. This is number 1 or 2, no question. It was fucking amazing. And like 10 people saw it. For a variety of reasons. Nobody saw that fucking show, but holy shit was it good. Yeah, and to take on a role like that, and it fucked them up. Like, we had many, many long sort of debrief conversations, because it was like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And we had to find a character. There's a character in the play. There's a little girl in the play who's like 10 or 12 or something like that. And we had to find an actor to play it like fucking... Nothing happens on stage. Nothing happens on stage or in the movie. Oh, God, he was good. It was such a good fucking show. So, like, I feel like my best work doesn't get seen. So we'll use that as a segue. Yeah, there's only a couple shows I want to direct again, and in retro, now that you bring that up, Joy, that would be one I would want to do again, because so many people, you need to see the show. It was such a well-written show. Yeah. Anyway, segue. Yeah, Woodsman. Greatest recommendation you can give fiction was, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you think. Yeah, that's what I want. Oh, and Steve, yeah, you're right. People don't realize how much those parts can hurt. They do. Because Michael Peck, I mean, yeah. And this is before we had kids. And even before that, like, all of us. Like, it was hard fucking work, man. It was hard, but God, it was worth it. And it was such a good show with such a tremendously important theme and message. That's why I would do that show again. Speaking of which, if I don't choke to death, here's the plan, you guys. Because there's only a few of us here watching tonight, and that's good. That's fine. I'm not really kidding about this creating a media empire thing. So I've mentioned the Sick comic book. What that is again, this is the first issue of a miniseries, probably 3 issues, of a short story that I wrote that is a companion piece to Sick. It's Laura's story, all the stuff that happens to her while Brian and the other guys are doing their stuff. So it's a very short little piece, probably, 2 to 3 issues. All of the pages are done, the inks are done, my colorist has them, my letterer has them. We have one guy working on a cover, I've got somebody else here about to work on a cover as soon as I give him the green light, and then I've got a third cover by an artist who's done Deadpool and all kinds of stuff, who's doing a great homage cover a great Batman cover, very famous Batman cover. That's going to be great. It's so cool. Anyway, so that's happening. I've already paid for most of this stuff. Like, it's already out of pocket. Okay, the company, me, the Tom Leveen company, FTJ Creative, has already paid for this. So one way or the other, I get a comic book at the end of it. This is a comic we're going to take to Kickstarter and see if we can fund it. It's not going to be super expensive, a few $1,000s. I'm still working that out. And of course, you will find out about it because I'll be having to talk about it for like a month straight. So please accept my apologies right now. This Kickstarter for the comic book, and I'm telling you this as my very good friends who always show up to support me no matter what I do, and I, again, can't say thank you enough. Is it about funding a comic book? Yes, sure it is. Fund a comic, see what happens. It will be fun to hold it at the end of the day and say, yes, I wrote a comic book, all on my own. Look at me. Cool. It's actually, and this is something I'm going to share with some of our other friends on the Facebook fan page, mostly there, because I need friends to know about this. It's not really about the comic, though. This particular Kickstarter is not just about the comic any more than this show is just about doing this show. There's always something else going on. There are other machinations. The comic book is actually a test balloon that I'm sending up to see if I can get the support needed to get something like that off the ground. It's, again, not going to be a lot of money. I may even take a hit for it. That's cool. At this point, it's going to be more about recouping the expenses than it is to, making a bunch of money, because you don't make a bunch of money on comic books. Am I right, Andy? But it is a test balloon, because I want to see if there are enough people out there that we can get something crowdsourced, crowdfunded. Because if so, if I can get something as small, quote unquote, as small as a comic book off the ground and up and running, and figure all that stuff out, then what else might we be able to do? Maybe there's a short film. Maybe there's a feature film. Maybe there's a video series. Maybe there's a made-for-YouTube series that no fucking Hollywood producers are going to give us the money, so we're going to do it. We're just going to go do it. Here's how much I need. Here's what we're paying. Here's the actors. And we're just going to do this together. Because you guys who show up to this stuff, I mean, you're the... I can't express who you are to me. Because you keep showing up. Like, if people think I don't know who's in the audience when my books launch, oh, I do. I don't keep a list, but it's in here. You know what I'm saying? I know who comes to those things. I know who wants to be there. I know the people who aren't there, but would have given anything to be there if they could. I know who those people are. So then... and we've been together for a year now. We've been doing Tom Leveen Live for a year. A whole year. And out of those, we missed, 4 nights, maybe? Like, out of 52 fucking shows, we've made, 46 of them? 48 of them? That's fucking amazing. You guys keep coming. Thank you. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Then let's do something together. Let's go make a fucking movie. Let's write a book. Let's write a comic book. Let's do a web series. Let's do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of this is about. This stuff, and I won't go through the whole history, but when I wrote my one-man show, and my friend Matt was like, I want to be in it, and we did that fucking show in my backyard, we didn't charge admission, we just did it, and we spent our own money to do it, because it was fun. And then the next show we did charge admission, because we spent money on it, and so we needed to recoup those costs. Nobody ever got paid. Nobody went home and fucking, bought a Lamborghini, but we did it. And every time I've done that, I've been happier. And every time I've done that, I think the work has been better. And this stuff, all this Mevo, microphone, YouTube, this shit didn't exist when I started doing this kind of thing. Self-publishing was you were a piece of fucking shit if you self-published something, right? Now, you can make millions of dollars on Kindle. The whole fucking landscape has changed. From back in, 1995 when I launched Is What It Is Theater. Everything's fucking different. We can do this. We can do this together. We can do this as a group. We can do this as whatever word you want to use. I think we should try that. That's what this is all about. Excuse me. So I'm not reading your comments right now because I almost don't want to know what you're saying because I didn't know I was going to say all this tonight. It's actually just kind of off the cuff. So, But that's what's happening. There is no reason we can't make shit together, is what I'm thinking. And it might not work. Maybe it won't work. I don't know. If I can't fund the comic book, all right, now I know. Cool. Does that mean I'm going to stop writing? Nope. Does that mean I'm going to stop doing the show? Nope. Does that mean I'm never going to make a movie or a short film or a series? Nope. I'm still going to do it. I've had much worse setbacks than not funding a fucking comic book. Way bigger setbacks than that. But that is the purpose, one of the purposes of the comic book that's going to be coming up probably the next couple months, I'm guessing. I'd like to get it out by March 1st. That might not happen. Maybe later than that, but we'll see. That's what's going on. All of this that I've been doing for the past year has been gearing up for tonight, for the beginning of this year, to get serious about launching stuff that I just want out there. Whether it's urban fantasy, adult fantasy, fucking YA fantasy, YA middle grade, whatever the fuck. I just want to get it out there. There's no reason not to. For any of us, by the way. If there's some shit you want to do, you should probably do it. I know I say it all the time, and I'm going to keep fucking saying it. If there's something you want to do, man, just do it. There is literally no reason not to. If you have an internet connection and a fucking iPhone, you're golden. You can write a novel. You can film a movie. You can sing a song. There's nothing we can't do with this. Let's go while we still can. Anyway. Wow. Totally didn't mean to say any of that shit tonight. It just came out. But it's true. So I'm going to hesitantly go to the comments and see what you guys are saying, and then we're going to wrap it up. There's money in comic books? There isn't. I mean, there can be. There isn't. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm caught up. Let's see. Sorry for the scrolling. Still got to figure out a better way to do this. Like, I'm at a point where I'm considering hiring help. Joy and I talked about this today. Anyway. Woodsman. Yeah. Okay. There's money in comic books. Yeah, Andy knows. Andy used to own a comic book store and knows all about comics. So, yes, of course you have to read 6, Sam. I'm curious to see what you think of it. It's awesome, riveting. Thank you, Steve. God, you guys are just so fucking nice to me. You're rushing me through your back catalog, you crafty businessman. Sure. That's exactly what I'm doing, Sam. Seriously, Andy, in one night? Wow. Did I know that? I may have forgotten, but thank you. That's really fantastic. The only reason I took a break is because it was Wednesday night and I had to go to the thing with you guys and boss. Wow. That's awesome, Andy. Thank you very much. You sound like this other author I read also had no idea I've been doing this for a year. Yeah, we started the Facebook Live right around the new year of 2018, I think. Yeah. So, shit ton. I've downloaded most of them. At some point, if I ever have time, I'm going to go back and edit them maybe. And I don't know. We'll see. Because there were some really good nights. We had some really... we had some really good nights there. Let's see. Don't read my comments. Statler and Waldorf. That's fine. I get it. I've been those guys. Sam, I totally understand. I just want as many people to enjoy writing as much as I have. Thank you, Steve. Sincerely. Thank you. I do too. Picture froze. Does the audio work? What? Uh-oh. Am I still here? Go out and do it. Starbucks water. Yeah. Is there water half sugar as well? I don't know, but it's like the only thing I drink. Just let us know when you need. We're there. Thank you, Steve. Well, Steve, you I'm putting to work. You've got stuff to do. You and Andy both have work to do. I can do it in my weird and awkward way. I mean, of course you are, Mary. No, I've got stuff for all of you to do. Trust me. I have a list of helpers, and you all are on them. So, just so you know, yeah, I'm still here. Okay, good. Thank you, Mark. Even though you're beat U of A, that's pretty awesome. So, wow, Jesus. On that note, I don't think you have kids. Do any of you have kids? I don't think any of you have kids. I'm doing costume story time next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, for Pete the Cat, which will be cool. So if you have kids, or if you know people who have kids, send them over to Changing End Phoenix at 10 a.m. I will be there next Saturday, not this coming, but next Saturday, reading Pete the Cat, and Pete the Cat will be there, so you can meet Pete the Cat and get your picture taken with Pete the Cat. It's going to be awesome. Again, I have some really cool guests lined up for the show. Artist Frankie? Frank. Yeah, anyway. Got a very good, great local artist whose name I'm going to fuck up, so I'm not going to say it now. We've got the ghost hunting people coming. Oh, I don't have a date yet. They won't commit to a date yet. But they're going to come, and that's going to be really cool. I can't wait to do that. I've got some other ideas that are going to be pretty intense. Pretty intense. I think what we're going to do with the show is we'll keep kind of balancing. We'll do some solo stuff that's just going to be kind of fun and freewheeling and see what happens. And we're going to do some other stuff that we'll really set in the calendar and say, you guys need to come to this and you need to tell people about it because it's going to be really fucking important that as many people see it as possible. So yeah, a lot of that coming up. And we'll get calendars posted. I'm probably going to change my website again. That's not important. I think that's basically it. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I need to write books. I need to go back to writing. That would be super cool. That'd be really nice of me. Yeah, I need to get back to that. So anyway, what an interesting night this has been. Thank you all again. That's all I can say. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of this awesome, awesome adventure and for everything that you do here and elsewhere for me. I very, very much appreciate it. Yeah, let's go make some shit. Let's go make some shit. Fuck it. All right? That includes you. You need to go make some shit, whatever it is. I don't care. Maybe your making shit is going to play golf. Fine. Do that. Whatever it is, go do it, please. Okay? And I think that's it. I appreciate every single one of you. We will be back here, same time, same channel now. We're just going to stick with this platform. So let everybody know you got to come to this and how to sign up and all that kind of stuff. I would appreciate it because this is where it starts. This is where it starts. Tonight. Can we make it? We'll do like a Band of Brothers thing, right? We'll see what happens. It might be a really interesting year. Just might be a really interesting year. And my voice is shot, so I'm going to go to bed. Thank you guys. I love you. I really appreciate you. And as always, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you be peaceful and at ease. I will see you next week. Take care.